Hi, I'm John Lyons, a parishioner here at St. John's, and I'll start with some memorable moment of beauty. So, what immediately came to my attention was that was the night of January 19th, 2006. I don't know if you can remember where you were in 2006, but as I speak now, that was 15 years ago this month. Um, my son Paul had just started a new job. Um, his wife Geraldine was 7 months pregnant. Um, they were expecting their first child and my first grandchild for my wife Susan and I, and we were all excited. Uh, when Paul was being summoned to a meeting in Huntsville, Alabama, and we had great family discussions about could he travel south for 48 hours in with Geraldine in her delicate state. Um, but Jerry was still working. Jerry felt fine, and the baby was due in 8 weeks. So um, she said go, and he went. Um, we we called Geraldine the evening of the 19th at about 7 o'clock, and she sounded good. She was um, comfortable as a 7 month pregnant lady can be. But my wife and I, we were joined at the hip in this. Um, Said, please call if anything happens, if you want us to come over. um, so, as you might have known, about 1 a.m., the phone rang, and Jerry said the baby was dropping and she was heading off to the hospital. Uh, they lived about 2 miles from the Seventh day Adventist hospital in Rockville. They lived down in Rockville at that point. Um, and my wife and I dressed quickly, threw on whatever clothes we could grab, and jumped in the car and dashed down Route 108. For the 30-minute drive to the Seventh day Adventist hospital. Um, we reached the hospital uneventfully. I mean, I don't know if we even saw any cars on the road. Uh, she looked good. She looked more than good. She was she was excited for. She was about to become a mom. Uh, and since Paul was not there, Paul was in Alabama. We had spoken to him in the car driving down. Um, she asked my wife if she wanted to come into the delivery room. So Jerry was allowed one guest. Uh, my wife was very excited and real. The nurse said, she said sure. My wife uh, was taken by a nurse to gown up to get ready for the delivery room. And it was about that time that Jerry's doctor arrived. Uh, the doctor arrived and they kicked me out of the Jerry's room while the doctor assessed the situation. And my son called and asked, "Gee, can you ask her if she can wait until this evening when I fly back from Alabama?" The doctor looked at me a little bit silly when I said that to her. She said, "The baby's coming. It really is, and we're going to do a cesarean section." And so my wife was not going to be able to be in the delivery room. So very disappointed, she joined me in the waiting room, and it wasn't long. It really wasn't long. About an hour later, the doctor came out and announced that Liam Alexander Lyons had entered the world, and that mommy was doing okay, and Liam was okay, and that my wife and I could go in and see Liam when a nurse from the from the premature birth area would be out and take us back. We were excited and very happy to follow behind the preemie nurse. We walked past the newborns on the way back to a little room in the back of the area for premature babies. And Liam Alexander was the only one there. And I just remember the moment my wife and I saw 6-pound Liam Alexander Lyons. I have never been so thrilled and so filled with love for an individual, for a little human being. I really didn't, it was one of those moments where I really felt love, and I felt love for the whole world. I mean, I probably loved my wife more at that moment than I had in the 50 years of marriage. And I loved everybody there. I loved the doctor. I loved, and I wanted to thank God for that. And what filled me was that moment was love, and that God is love. I thank God for the gift of Liam Alexander. I thank God for the gift of my wife. I thank God for everything at that point. Absolutely. And the thought that God is love, and at that moment, Liam Alexander was love for me, and this whole world was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And I was looking at this 6-pound premature, squiggly little pink person, and I was very lucky, and I knew that God was in him, God was in me and us, and family is love, God is love, and I'm a very lucky, privileged person, and it was just an amazing moment in life. That was 15 years ago. Little baby Liam is now a high school freshman, and I love him as much today. But